Hi everyone! Before you all race to the comment section expressing how tired I look today, you do not need to be worried. I am not under the weather. I just have no under eye concealer on. There we go. I've got it out. Hopefully by the end of this video, I will look slightly more polished and a lot more awake, because today we are going to be applying, reviewing, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and feelings on the brand new Charlotte Tilbury concealer. Now, I've had this in my possession for over 10 days and I've been really putting it through its paces. I know I'm a little bit late to the party with this review, but it was for good reason. I had planned to take a couple of weeks off at the end of the summer to spend that time with my family before my kids went back to school. So that's what I was doing when everybody else was reviewing this product. But I thought you'd want to know what I thought about it and see a really long wear test and how this looks at the end of the day. I'm also going to be sharing my thoughts and feelings on the brand new brightening powder, so definitely stay tuned for that. Let's get on with it. So if you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new content on YouTube every single week and I would love it if you would consider coming and joining the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that like button, the subscribe button, and also the notification bell. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer and it will set you back £25 in the UK. You get 7.2 grams of the product, which is 0.25 fluid ounces, which I don't think is as stingy as the Charlotte Tilbury brand usually is with the quantity of product that they usually give you. Just for reference, my favourite Lancome concealer, which is generally extremely generous with the quantity of product that they give you, has 13 mils of product, so almost double the quantity. However, the Kosas Creamy Concealer, 6 mils worth of product, so less than this one. Actually, it doesn't look like there's less in here, but there is. And then also the Huda Beauty Concealer, which is my current favourite, has 9 mils worth of product, so slightly more than the Charlotte Tilbury, but it's there or thereabouts, so not as stingy as usual. Just like with all of the Charlotte Tilbury products, this has a really good shade range and I've come to expect this from the Charlotte Tilbury brand and I've not been disappointed. 30 different shades to choose from and the shades are a really good spectrum. So this is going to give you a medium buildable coverage and it gives you a radiant finish if unpowdered. Powder will change the finish of this concealer just like any other concealer, but I find with this concealer it really will dim down the radiance considerably, so that is definitely something to be aware of. This has a long wearing formula. It does say 16 hours worth of wear and it also says this is going to be sweat proof, humidity proof and waterproof. So let's talk about ingredients. This is supposed to be hydrating. It's got glycerin and squalane and camellia oil and also hyaluronic acid in there. It's also supposed to be brightening with niacinamide and a little bit of ascorbic acid. It's nourishing with jojoba, sunflower and mimosa floral waxes. And it's supposed to be quite smoothing on the skin. So this has soft focusing silica in the formula, which will help reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. This doesn't have alcohol in the formula, but it does contain a fragrance, and I know that is really important to some people. However, in my opinion, it's not overpowering at all. In fact, when I first opened the product, I didn't smell it at all. So it's not one of those that's going to knock your head off, in my opinion. I think we can all agree that the packaging is beautiful. The doe foot applicator is actually really small. And usually when I get a really large doe foot applicator, I get really quite annoyed because it's always too big. I actually think this one's slightly too small. Am I being overly picky? I think I probably am. So I bought 2 different shades of these. I got one of the fair shades, but I also opted for a medium shade as well, which is totally against everything that I normally do. But the 2 shades that are in fair to medium, which are the ones that I would usually go for, I just didn't think they looked right personally on the website for me. So I opted for the shades 4.5 in fair, which I believe is for fair skin tones with peachy undertones. And then I got the 6.5, which is for medium skin tones with a neutral undertone. Let me show you the swatches and give you some comparisons. So from left to right, we have the Huda Beauty in 2.7N in Coconut Flakes, which is my current shade. Then we've got the Charlotte Tilbury Concealer in the shade 6.5. The Lancome Concealer in 110 Ivory Sea. the Dermablend Concealer in 15N, the Kosas Creamy Concealer in 2.5C, and the Charlotte Tilbury Concealer in 4.5 Fair. Now these do oxidize slightly in my opinion, so bear that in mind when you're choosing your shade. Again, I could get away with both of these shades at the moment. The 6.5 is closer to my natural skin tone, the 4.5 is more of a brightening shade. Now it's really quite difficult to show you the consistency of the Charlotte Tilbury product. So the one on the right is the Charlotte Tilbury, and you can see it is quite thick. And it's quite sticky when you first apply it to the skin. So even though I wasn't that keen on the texture, the consistency of the Charlotte Tilbury product when I first started using it, it seriously grew on me. I thought it was incredibly easy to blend out on the skin, and even though the thick consistency looked very heavy, when it was underneath the eye, it was actually quite lightweight. Very, very smoothing, easy to blend, very good coverage, definitely a medium coverage when it first goes on, and the radiant finish is beautiful. So now that I've done both under eyes, I am going to powder this in place. We're going to do a little bit of an experiment. That being said, I don't think it is completely necessary to powder this concealer in place. If you apply one layer and one layer only with your fingertips and really push it into the skin underneath your eyes, this will not budge. It is beautiful stuff. But for giggles today, we are going to set this in place. One side with the new Charlotte Tilbury brightening powder, and the other side with my current powder that I usually set my under eyes with, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is smooth before I go in with the powder. Really press that Huda Beauty powder in place before we go in with the Charlotte Tilbury. So that's one side done with the Huda Beauty powder. Let's have a look at the Charlotte Tilbury brightening powder. So this has the longest name in living history, even longer than the Pat McGrath products, which is saying something. This is incredibly long-winded. I have no idea why they have to make it so difficult, but they have. This is the Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Eye Plus Face Micro Powder. Let's have a look. So this is going to cost £36 in the UK, which initially I thought was quite expensive, but then I did the maths and a comparison, so bear with me. You're getting 9 grams worth of product in here, or 0.31 ounces, whereas the original Airbrush Flawless Finish powder from Charlotte Tilbury, you're only getting 8 grams for the same price. So they are giving you a little bit more in here, but the kicker comes when you compare it to one of my Ride or Die products, the Pat McGrath Under Eye Powder. This is such good stuff. Cost £25, but you're only getting 4 grams worth of the product. So cost per gram, this is £6.25, whereas cost per gram of the Charlotte Tilbury brightening powder, it's £4. So although it's more initially to fork out for this, it's actually much more reasonable per gram. The Charlotte Tilbury powder comes in 2 different shades. I've obviously gone for the fairest of the 2. If you have a much deeper skin tone than me, you will want to step that up for the second shade. This is supposed to brighten, blur and lift, reduce the appearance of dark circles and smooth the appearance of your skin, giving that blurring effect underneath the eye. Of course, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. This is a micro powder, so it glides onto the skin and is completely undetectable. And it's also got mica in here, which gives that silky, smooth finish and really does help to mattify, but in more of a natural way. This is not going to give you a flat, matte, dry, cakey look. You may say that teaming both of these together is slightly counterintuitive, and if you love a radiant finish concealer, you love that sheen on the surface of the skin, I would definitely agree with you. Me personally, although I love this concealer, I think it wears very, very well. It's slightly too radiant for me, and I just need something to dim down that radiance slightly. Not entirely, but slightly. And I think this powder does that incredibly well. Plus, you can't deny that this eye looks way brighter and way more awake than this eye with the Huda Beauty powder on. It is effective. So I'm gonna get on with my day and I'll see you all in around about 10 hours. But not 10 hours for you. It'll be right after this. So don't go anywhere. Okay, I am very tired. I am hungry. I'm not quite sure why, because I've eaten masses today. I want to get in a bath, wash all this off and get in bed. So I thought I'd better do my 10-hour check-in. I almost forgot. Wouldn't that have been a waste? Anyway, we are here. We are ready. Let's have a look at the concealer and the powder situation. The first thing I noticed when I looked in the mirror was that the brightening effects of the Charlotte Tilbury powder have not faded throughout the day. This still looks brightened, it still looks lifted, this eye still looks better, in my opinion, than this side where I use the Huda Beauty powder. However, if we look closely at the concealer, and I am going to show you this in natural lighting, you will notice that neither sides, regardless of what powder I've used, have creased. So you don't need both products. If you just want the concealer, just buy the concealer. You don't need the powder to use alongside it. It will work regardless. The main thing that has impressed me, other than the non-creasing, the wearability of this, the longevity of this, the coverage of this, is the fact that you can physically see in my face that it has got shinier throughout the day where my foundation has been. But my under eyes, no shine, nothing. This does not look any different than when I first applied it. And if it does, it's faded evenly throughout the day so that I've not noticed. I think you can probably tell how happy I am with the performance of both of these products. I'm really pleased that I have them in my collection. However, do I think that everybody should go out and buy these products immediately? Absolutely not. These aren't limited edition as far as I'm aware. They're going to be available for a long time. So if you're not in the market for a new concealer or a new powder, there is no need to get straight out of your chair, run to your computer and place an order. If these aren't in your budget, do not stretch yourself and go and buy these. They will be around for a while. So I really like them. I don't think they're gold dust. I don't think they're revolutionary, but they are beautiful. The one thing I forgot to mention, which is incredibly important and is regarding the brightening powder. You need to make sure that your concealer has dried down 100% before you apply this over the top. If you don't do that, it will grab to those damper areas and it will look slightly patchy underneath the eyes, and you definitely do not want that. So word of warning, definitely something to bear in mind. I really hope you found this video helpful in some way and now have an insight into whether these are a definite must for you or an easy pass. Do let me know what you thought about the video in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.